BBC Radio Leicester.
25 minutes past 4 is the time you tune into the Eddie Damon Show here on BBC Radio Leicester. I'm glad to have you with me. Now, you know how much I love my naughty little ginger cockapoo, Ralph. If you're a dog lover like me, there are often days when you ask yourself if dogs are in fact better than people. Yes, they dribble, they get hair everywhere and constantly beg for food. Let's be honest, humans are pretty annoying. Well, comedian Dave Chawner is so convinced of that idea, his new show is dedicated to convincing everyone to agree with him. I'm delighted to say that Dave joins me now. Dave, I'm so pleased to be chatting to you this afternoon. Come on, tell us then, Dave, why do you prefer dogs to people?
I think they are markedly better than people, and I think I can prove that to you. I have read numerous articles saying that getting a dog can help boost your mental health and reduce stress. I've never read a single article saying that having a baby can help boost your mental health and reduce stress. I think dogs set a brilliant example for humans. And I think that's what I'm kind of trying to look at in the show. After a really tricky time that we've all been through, I think one of the few nice things about COVID is the celebration of that underdog. You know, jobs that would have looked down on with snippy snobbery, such as shelf stackers or bin men or those sorts of things that people could always be quite snobby about. We've actually celebrated, we've clapped for those people. And I think exactly the same with dogs. Dogs give so much and expect so little in return. And to be honest, they're also more interesting than people. As soon as you talked about Ralph, I want to know more about your little ginger cockapoo.
Do you know, here's the thing as well, being a new dad as well, Dave, the fact that you said, you know, having a baby. As a dad here, on 3 hours sleep and on about my 17th cup of coffee, I'm just nodding my head. I'm just nodding away to you. Dave, preach, brother, preach. And, you know, kind of like, you know, why was this so important to do this, Dave? You say that about, you know, about dogs, about celebrating the underdog as well. Why is this so important to do your show about it as well?
Well, you know what? Look, let's not pretend that I'm some sort of saint. It comes out of self-interest as well, because you know what? Being completely honest, one of the things that I do explore in the show is I've been doing comedy now for a good while with little or no success. And I've got to a point where, you know, a lot of my friends are doing Live at the Apollo, doing all of these different panel shows. And I feel a real sense of insecurity around my place in the circuit. And actually, one of the things that I find really interesting is the more that I talk about that to people, the more this imposter syndrome, the more this outsider, the more this underdog idea is something that's really shared with people. And I think now more than ever, that is important, of coming out of lockdowns, coming out of COVID, coming out of a place, a time of such insecurity and instability. I think more than ever, acknowledging that vulnerability of that you might feel like you are the overlooked one is really important.
Now, you say that as well. I mean, you undersell yourself massively there. Let me explain more. Let me explain more about Dave Chawner, okay? Not only is he a #1 best-selling author, award-winning comedian, presenter on the BBC as well, he's been guest on BBC Breakfast, Loose Women, Lorraine, The Jeremy Vine Show, Sky, Radio 1, Radio 2, Radio 4, written for The Guardian, The Telegraph, Metro, GQ, Cosmopolitan. Dave, you are underselling yourself here, mate. You are absolutely you are a legend in your own lunchtime. So, I mean, this is coming to Leicester. This is part of Leicester Comedy Festival. We love having you on every year surrounding the Comedy Festival as well. How important is this to get out there? How much do you love coming to Leicester and being a part of the festival as well?
Oh, I can't tell you how great Leicester is as the festival, but also the place. I always do it with a wonderful company called Jokes on Us that runs inside of the Leicester Comedy Festival, and that puts on an idea of the pay what you want model. So that's instead of like going and paying 15, 20 quid to see a show, it's absolutely free to go and see them, and then you pay on donation afterwards. And that makes the comedy in Leicester so good because the performers have to sell themselves to you. The performers have to quite literally perform for their supper. But also, this is the first festival of the year. So you get to see brilliant people like Sarah Keyworth, who's just done last series of Live at the Apollo. She's absolutely brilliant. Very good mate of mine. Sat at the back of a room and saw the first time that she'd ever done her show. People like Dane Baptiste, people like Ria Lina, people like Tez Lydia's coming up and doing fresh shows. And you know what? I think that's where the real fun of comedy comedy is not when it's all clean and ironed and perfectly done to perfection. I think the real fun of it is in the room where people muck up their lines or forget where they're going. So Leicester as a comedy festival is brilliant, but also the place. I'm at a wonderful place called the Exchange Bar, which is on Rutland Street, and I've been doing that for the past 6-7 years, and it is just brilliant. It's like a family-owned little place. It's brilliant. So, yes, I think everything about Leicester is something I always look forward to, and I can't wait to be there on the 20th.
Dave, honestly, it's just a genuine pleasure to have you on the show. Just make everyone smile and lift everyone's mood as well. Give us those details. People can come and see you. They can come and see you in action as well. How do we go about doing that?
Well, Adi, you've been so generous. I was going to ask if you wanted to be my agent. But also, I was going to say it's actually come up on the website as sold out. Now, we have held a couple of tickets back for people that are listening to BBC Leicester. So if you do want to come along the show, there are still tickets left. So come along on February the 20th at 4:30. It's absolutely free to get in. It's not free to leave, but we do a donation at the end asking you to pay how much you think the show is worth. So you think it's rubbish, you pay nothing.
Dave, it won't be that. It's just so lovely to have you on the show. Thank you so much for your time. The incredible Dave Chawner. It's always lovely to speak to Dave every single year with what he does. He does a lot for mental health as well. So if you want to go along and to see him kind of do his brand new show, which is all about dogs' defeat and determination, easy for me to say, all you've got to do is head over to the Exchange. It's on Rutland Street in Leicester. It's this Sunday from 4:30, and as Dave was saying, it's free, pay on donation, so get involved with that if you would like to go and see Dave in action. All details, of course, on the Leicester Comedy Festival website.